As the off-season gets underway, and with Miami Dolphins free agency right around the corner, now is as good a time as any to explore the scenarios that could result in players not suiting up in the aqua and orange in 2023. Whether it be via trade or being a free agent, due to being a cap casualty or not being a great fit, or anywhere in between, every team will say goodbye to a handful of players while welcoming in the newcomers. In this article, I'll explore 3 Miami Dolphins that I think are unlikely to suit up for the team in 2023. Byron Jones, cornerback, signed in free agency prior to the 2020 season. Byron Jones was set to be the starting outside corner for the Miami Dolphins across from Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. This dynamic duo was thought to be among the best in the NFL and was poised to be a part of the team's defensive identity in 2020 and beyond. They didn't disappoint. While Byron Jones played well at times, injuries resulted in Jones missing 19 games, including all of the 2022 season, and one playoff game. While box scores don't tell the whole story, Byron Jones would finish with an allowed quarterback rating of 108.0 in 2020 and 100.6 in 2021, allowing a 60% completion percentage and 9 touchdowns over that span, with Byron Jones recently sharing insight into his injury history, talking largely in the past tense. It's not likely that he will return to the team in 2023. The current thought is that the team will cut him post-June 1st and move on, allowing him to either sign with another team or move into the next chapter of his life. Either way, it's time to find his replacement. Cedric Wilson, Jr., wide receiver. As I shared in a recent article for FinFanatic, I was wrong about the fit for Cedric Wilson, Jr. To be fair, he did sign before we all knew Tyreek Hill was headed to Miami, so we'll really never know what this offense would have looked like with him as the number 2. However, the harsh reality is that the team saw greater production from free agent signing Trent Sherfield, $1.1 million in 2022, than we did from Wilson, $5.75 million in 2022. With Wilson set to make $8 million in 2023, the likelihood that he returns is growing smaller and smaller by the day. While some could argue that you can never have too much depth in the wide receiver room, the Miami Dolphins could look to move on him this offseason. Re-signing Trent Sherfield and River Crocraft, in addition to elevating 2022 fourth-rounder Eric Ezukanma, could be a viable, and cheaper, route to go. With teams like Chicago, Dallas, and Green Bay all looking to bolster their wide receiver rooms, a late-round pick sent down south could do the trick for Wilson. Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback. Last offseason, around this time actually, Mike McDaniel described his ideal backup quarterback to the media. When you're looking for a backup quarterback, you want him to benefit the starting quarterback, but you also want a guy that can win games, should the starter go down. Mike McDaniel, courtesy of ThePageInsider.com, later that spring after signing Teddy Bridgewater to a one-year deal to backup quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, he shared, "Unbeknownst to you guys, I was quite literally describing Teddy Bridgewater at the time, just not using his name." Mike McDaniel, courtesy of 247 Sports, unfortunately for the Miami Dolphins, and Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy would go 0-2 in his starts for the teams, missing time himself due to injury. He'd finish the season 49-79 passing, 62%, for 683 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions both in starts and in relief of Tua and Skylar Thompson. It's like, based on injury history and his level of play, that Teddy will be on the move again this offseason, with the team looking to bring in another backup to starter Tua Tagovailoa. What do you think? Do you expect any surprise cuts or trades? Is there anyone you could see the team not re-signing that others may think is a lock to return? Let me know in the comments below.